there's this idea that America is really invested in showing that this is the land of democracy, and the reality on the ground is that that's not true. That it's not that everybody's got an equal shot in making sure that their voice is heard.
If you have money, you have voice, and the average American doesn't have money.
Everybody don't come from money, but that don't mean that we're not capable of thinking on how to get some money or voicing our opinion, towards what's right.
A lot of what's going on around money in politics is anger. It's really just anger in the street. It's anger in the middle class. It's anger everywhere. It's not that people are against money per se, or people are again against corporate form, but there's a lot of just anger about what it means to be an American and what it means to live in an American democracy today when you have so much money in our election system and in our political system.
In our democracy, one voice is equivalent to one vote, but corporate influence channels voices from that one-to-one ratio into whoever is able to spend the most to promote their issue.
I think just to say, it's wealthy corporations like ExxonMobil putting politicians in office is just not accurate. Now, that doesn't mean that money buying in Washington is not corrupting the process and systematically hurting poor people. That may be the case, but it's just not the case that there's a rich class of people who are putting in power particular individuals, and that money is sort of disproportionate to the money that other associations like labor unions put into campaigns.
The ability to be able to have your opinion, let alone legislation that meets your needs, is harder and harder with the greater amounts of spending that happens in campaigns and elections. So I think that's the challenge when you look at who gets into office. They're people who are really come from money, that are millionaires themselves. So it makes, even on a local level, fighting issues here in Chicago, it's really hard.
The major thing on politicians is that they should stay true to their word.
I think that candidates who maybe are genuinely interested in reversing the course that we're going down, perhaps are not inclined to do so in practice. I feel like there's sort of an arms race psychology, like why would you not accept money if it means that you risk losing this election cycle?
I think it's dangerous, the direction that we're going in terms of, the point that you said of just the fact of how much money is involved in the process. Where is this going to end, and at what point, and how much money is being spent on elections, and what happens afterwards, and in terms of being able to move forward our agendas.
I don't think there's any doubt that money buys influence in Washington, and I think the only way to solve that problem is to reduce the influence of Washington. So I think, corporations and interest groups are going to try to direct this government that spends trillions and trillions of dollars to their needs, whatever those particular needs are. And the only way to reduce that waste and corruption is to make that thing smaller and less influential in everyone's lives, and then the money will go other places. The money will go out of politics when the politics goes out of money.